Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Raw Cloud. Today's video, I'm going to talk about a timeline that I went into. Now, when I go into this timeline, um, I meet up with another remote viewer uh, by the name of Courtney Brown. Now, in this timeline, we're in front of a hospital, and Courtney Brown, which is in this timeline, he teach a lot of young people how to remote view. He has his own channel as well. It's called Farsight. Now, some of you may know about Farsight and his ability to remote view and speak to extraterrestrials. He's even captured a lot of UFOs by using high-tech cameras, very expensive high-tech cameras that can slow down and frame by frame capture these UFOs that move at extremely fast pace. But let's get back to the story. Now, as I'm in this timeline with Courtney Brown, I meet with him outside this hospital, and he has about 10, 12, maybe 13 children, teenagers that is there with him. He's been teaching in this timeline the same thing that he's doing here in this timeline. So I speak with Courtney Brown, and even in this timeline, Courtney Brown, before I even started making videos, he wanted to, he sent me emails to contact him. I guess, he was, had been watching me, just like, I've been watching him, through his YouTube channel. But unfortunately, there were some things that held me back from being able to link with him. Now, I'm always cautious, and maybe I really do need to get out of being that way. It wasn't him. It was just my own intuition about certain things that I really needed to do first before I even contact him. So Courtney Brown, if you see this, this video really is about you, and if you see it, I hope you enjoy it. We are doing great work as remote viewers, as spiritual beings, in other timelines as well. So let's get back to it. So I speak with Courtney Brown in this timeline, and we are in front of a hospital. Now, I didn't understand why I was there at first, but as I'm speaking with Courtney Brown, he tells me that he had never officially met a extraterrestrial in person, and he would like to meet one. And I said, well, if you really want to meet an extraterrestrial, instead of remote viewing and just speaking with them telepathically, I said, well, you were in the right place. This hospital, there's a lot of reptilians within this hospital, and a lot of them are doctors. And that goes in our timeline. A lot of the in the hospitals, these surgeons, these doctors, they are high in reptilian DNA. They are reptilians in a sense, and even the guards that sit outside of these hospitals are reptilians. I know this. So we go into the hospital, and all of these children. So I'm holding the door. Courtney Brown is leading the way, and these children are following him. And so the last child to go in, is a young girl, and I'm speaking with her, and as we're walking and talking, the group is already far ahead of us. So this nurse, as we're walking down the hallway, this nurse comes up to me and she was like, "There's somebody here that want to see you." And I paused and I said, "Well," I tell the young girl to go ahead and catch up with the group. So, and I go with this nurse thinking like, who can it possibly be in this timeline that wants to see me? So as I go into this room, this nurse lead me into this room. I go in by myself, and she go off. So I go all the way in the room, and right around the corner there's a bathroom, and there's a hospital bed with a person in it, and they're in a full suit. And as I get closer, I notice that this is one of my brothers that passed away. It's not my older brother, but it's one of my brothers that had passed away. He had gotten sick. Now, this particular brother is second to the oldest that had passed away. And I see that, he's on this hospital bed, and it looked like he had, either started to age, or I don't really want to say decompose, but he looked a little bit different. But I spiritually knew that this was my brother. And when I touched his leg, his soul had came back into his body. And I'm just confused as hell at this point. First of all, why is he there in this hospital when I know that he's passed away in this timeline? And so when his soul entered his body, he gasped for air. He took a big, huge, deep breath and opened his mouth and gasped for air, and kind of he couldn't sit up all the way because he had straps holding his body down to the bed. So he was able to wiggle away one of the arms, and he started pulling on the suit that he had on as if he's, extremely hot. So at this point, I didn't panic, but I began to, move him around from the bathroom and pull him closer to the middle of the room. So as I'm doing this, I noticed that there was some water on the table, and I began to give him this water because he looked like he was extremely thirsty. So as I do this, I'm trying to now secure the bed from moving. So that little break that's on the bottom of the bed, I was trying to, step on that with using my foot to keep it from moving, but I just couldn't reach it because at this point, my brother, he's beginning to panic. So at this time, the nurse come back into the room, and she come up behind me, and the energy was off a little bit about her. And I really believe that she was reptilian. I really do believe that she was reptilian. So as soon as I noticed that, I'm back here in this timeline. So I never really got to speak to my brother and ask what the hell was going on. So now I know that the reptilians can hold on to souls. If you have any type of if you've been tricked into a contract and you have not broken contracts, or you're not aware, they can still use you based off in these contracts. Now, that brother, um, in that timeline, you know, he was a smart guy. He was a smart guy. He was um, into a lot of things in this lifetime. But you know, as far as I can say, you know, my whole family has always had good hearts. They never really been into any type of crime. Never had a cruel heart about them. And I feel like my mom, she did well with what she had to deal with in this lifetime. I couldn't have asked for a better mother. And so, and I know that, as human beings, we have to experience life, and we will go through many trials, but we also triumph, through these trials. These are just lessons that we learn in many timelines. But no matter how good you are, you will have to deal with the dark, and we will have dark moments in all of these timelines that we are in. But I just couldn't figure out why was he there, and why was he I don't know if they was trying to trap his soul, or trying to hold him for whatever reason. But these timelines, man, I mean, they are extremely um, they will have you puzzled. So I'm going to talk about another timeline, and both of these events uh, happen a day apart from each other. So I go to bed here in this timeline, and then I wake up, actually wake up on the other side in another timeline. Now, I'm going to talk about this timeline because it has a lot to do with my older brother that is gone. So now I never stay in this timeline. I always go off. That is one thing. No matter what I go through, whether it be good or bad, I enjoy, leaving this timeline and go other places and seeing other things and experience things. My mom has passed away, and I have a, two brothers that's passed away, and I have a sister that has passed away. I have yet seen her. My sister that's passed away, I have not seen her in any timeline. I would like to see her. So anyway, as I go to bed here and wake up there, I notice that I'm in a studio apartment, very nice studio apartment, and it belongs to my older brother on that side. Now, my older brother in this timeline, he never worked a day in his life. He wasn't a bad guy. Uh, I want to say that he was not mentally challenged, but had some educational challenge. Now, my brother, he liked to drink, and that ultimately took him out of the world because he was a heavy drinker. He drank all the time, and he started drinking at a young age. And but he enjoyed life. He didn't drive a car. He never had a driver's license. Um, he lived many places here in this timeline, and was just a very nice guy. But he wanted to live his life his way. He wanted to do things his way. And that's what he did, So you would never see him, you know, dressed up or in a business structure job. So anyway, when I wake up, I'm in this. I noticed that I'm in this studio apartment, and this apartment has an aerobics room and lots of mirrors and aerobic bikes, and I'm seeing all of these females on this bike. There was like 6, 7 of them, and they're up in age. Maybe from age 40 to 60 years old, and they're in there working out. And this was a part of my brother's studio apartment, that he had a gym where people can come in and work out. So as I'm looking at my brother, I noticed that my brother, he's dressed up. He's getting ready to go to work. He has a tie, nice dress shirt, nice pants, nice shoes on, and he's very business oriented. In this timeline, he was never like that. So it shocked me to see that he has taken on a more disciplined role in that timeline. And it's crazy because you may act a certain way in this timeline as you live your life, but you can be totally different, structured totally different in another timeline. And this is how we experience human evolution. So as I see him, I notice that I'm in that timeline. I'm living with him, me and my brother that is still living in this timeline. We're living with him, even though he's passed on in this timeline. So I wanted to share that with you. Now, before I leave this story, now, like I said in the beginning, I go to bed in this timeline, and I wake up out of bed in that timeline. So when I come back to this timeline, I'm confused as hell at this point. I'm waking up and I'm looking around like, where the hell am I? And I'm in my house in this timeline. And this is what goes on once you go in between these worlds. Once you go in between these timelines, you no longer know which one you should be in. And I think we all are doing this, whether we remember it or not. I think we are going in between these timelines and living lives. I think we are actually going in between certain timelines. And I think it's happening on a whole multitude of levels. I guess that's why they call it the multiverse. It's because there's thousands of versions of ourselves, and I think we intertwine into these timelines. But that's just something I wanted to share with you guys, so that you see how these timeline works. And I'm going to leave a link to Courtney Brown Farsight Institution, so you guys can see how his remote viewing is used. So I love, honor, and respect you guys. You guys check out Farsight Institution with Courtney Brown. Get a better understanding of how remote viewing works. Have a good day, guys. Love, honor, respect you.